An alert day will bring severe weather to southern Wisconsin this afternoon. Later on, we'll tell you what you need to know to be prepared. Plus, Madison police share an update on a West Madison shooting that left one person dead. This is News 3 Now at noon. Good afternoon, I'm Mark Kane. Today's alert day could bring a little bit of everything to southern Wisconsin, including hail, thunderstorms, possible tornadoes. If you have plans today, try to get everything done before 2 if you can. Meteorologist Greg Barnhart is tracking the storms and has more on our alert day. Greg?
Yeah, we're looking at about the same time frame right now for that 2 to 8 p.m. for high winds, hail, heavy rain, a few tornadoes too. In fact, that's the alert day, but we just got a tornado watch out for portions of southwest Wisconsin. That's Richland, Crawford, and Grant until 8 p.m. This is the PDS. Basically, it means that you could have strong to violent tornadoes are possible, especially across eastern Iowa right now. So that's the only watch out currently. We'll probably see more watches here as things develop further east. Overall, the threat is still pretty much high, moderate to actually slight across the area. So even Madison eastward is probably going to see some severe weather. I think by that time it might be more of a damaging wind. Right now radar's good, but they have that watch is outlined right where clear skies have actually developed. And temperatures right now, we're already up to the upper 60s in Platteville. I'll give you an idea how much warmer air is pushed to the north. Now, well to the north, they still got the showers and thunderstorms up in central. That's where the warm front is. But everyone down south, we're starting to see a little bit of sun. Futurecast does not show much going on until about 3. I think it'll be just thereafter. We'll start seeing that stuff in Iowa develop and push closer to Wisconsin. So we still got a few more hours. Visible satellite shows all the nice sun that has warmed up the atmosphere over Iowa, and that's why it's ripe for now severe weather potential, including tornadoes. We're starting to see a little bit more sun up here, so I think the temperatures will continue to rise. And our dew points, too, have started to creep up, too. Mid-50s, even now 60, and that's a sign of severe weather potentially coming, too. For this afternoon, thunderstorms should be after about 2, I think more 3 to 4. We'll get up to about 60 this evening. It's just going to be on and off strong, scattered strong to severe thunderstorms until we get to about 8 or 9 p.m., and then things will really rapidly die down, and it should be fairly quiet until tomorrow morning. So ahead, we'll just kind of time out when the severe threat begins and ends, and give you an indication of what's going to be waking up tomorrow morning, because it will not feel like spring come tomorrow morning.
All right, we'll keep an eye on things. Thank you, Greg. To help you prepare, be sure to download our First Warn Forecast weather app. Before the storms arise, it has hours-by-hours forecast, the latest radar, and tips on staying safe during severe weather. You can download it for free in your phone's app store. Just search WISC weather. New this afternoon, we're learning new information about a shooting in West Madison yesterday that left one man dead. Madison police say Jarvis Davis and Charles Washington White were arrested with the help of Sun Prairie Police. After the shooting, they have not been officially charged, but are facing several charges, including intentional homicide and firearm possession. Police Chief Sean Barnes spoke just minutes ago about the investigation. Our Teal Moladin was there and joins us with the latest. Teal, what have we learned? What have you learned?
Mark, while Madison police have yet to determine a motive, or they're still trying to figure it out, they say the victim and the suspects had a, quote, ongoing conflict. Police say the victim is being identified as 39-year-old black male who suffered multiple gunshot wounds and later died at the scene. Madison police responded to the shooting yesterday at the 7900 block of Tree Lane just before noon, 2 minutes after the call came in. Police Chief Sean Barr says the 2 suspects identified were arrested later that day within a matter of hours.
We've been working extremely hard on gun violence. It's one of our strategic priorities, and I really think that we're certainly headed in the right direction, but we need the help of our community. We know, and I've spoken about this before, you've heard me, when there are conflicts going on, we need our community to be the cooler head if we're not there. We need you to call early, we need you to call often when you see these conflicts arise, because you just may be preventing a senseless tragedy.
At an address that we were looking at associated with.
Police say they were able to recover the handgun they believe was used in the incident at an address connected to the suspects. Barnes also credits community partners and neighborhood resource officers. He says crime in the area is not a problem you can arrest your way out of. This homicide marks the second in Madison this year and the first that is gun-related. Reporting live, Tahlil Muhaddin, News 3 Now.
Deal, thank you. New at noon, Chandler Halderson, who last year was found guilty of murdering his parents, is appealing his conviction. Online court records show Halderson's attorney filed a notice of appeal yesterday. Halderson was found guilty on all 8 charges against him, including mutilating and hiding a corpse. He was sentenced to life in prison without parole. Head to channel3000.com to watch our extensive coverage of the case and every moment of the trial. Meanwhile, the Juneau County Sheriff's Office is investigating after a man was found dead in a cabin. Officers were called to the cabin in Armenia Township around 5 o'clock Monday night for a welfare check. A neighbor reported 2 people inside the cabin who appeared to not be breathing. One man was being treated by emergency crews when deputies arrived and was later hospitalized. The other man was found dead. The incident remains under investigation. Security has been ramped up now that a Manhattan grand jury has voted to indict former President Donald Trump. It's the first time in history that a former president will face criminal charges. Bradley Blackburn has the latest.
What's happened here is this is a case that would not have been brought against another individual in this country if his name wasn't Donald Trump.
A lawyer for the former president told CBS Mornings his client is being persecuted politically after a grand jury voted Thursday to indict Donald Trump.
This is an explosive event in a highly volatile time in American politics.
The indictment is sealed, so the exact charges are not yet known, but they are related to payments made to adult film actress Stormy Daniels before the 2016 election. And there could be other issues, too.
We don't know what's in the indictment, so we could be looking at campaign finance charges. We could be looking at wire fraud, at banking fraud.
Republicans rushed to the current GOP presidential candidate's defense.
This is going to destroy America. We're going to fight back at the ballot box.
While Democrats said to trust in the judicial system.
Let the process go forward. No one is above the law.
The arraignment will likely be Tuesday. Trump is expected to surrender here and be fingerprinted and photographed for a mugshot. But as the first former president to ever be indicted, there is no real precedent.
You have Secret Service involved, NYPD, Court Officers Union, so I'm not sure exactly how it plays out, but we'll get through it.
With security a big concern, the NYPD notified all officers, including plainclothes police, to be in full uniform today and ready for deployment. Bradley Blackburn, CBS News, New York.
And former President Trump is also the subject of other ongoing investigations, including the Department of Justice probe into the January 6th Capitol riot and Trump's handling of classified materials at his Mar-a-Lago estate. The DOJ is suing Norfolk Southern over the Ohio train derailment. Federal prosecutors filed a civil lawsuit alleging the company's February derailment in East Palestine polluted local waterways and violated the Clean Water Act. Prosecutors are seeking hundreds of thousands of dollars in damages. No word from Norfolk Southern about the new lawsuit. Pope Francis is expected to return home from the hospital tomorrow. The Vatican says the 82-year-old pontiff will be able to participate in the Palm Sunday Mass service in St. Peter's Square. Pope Francis has been in the hospital for a respiratory infection since Wednesday. This is the busiest time of year for Pope Francis. He has the Palm Sunday Mass this weekend, that Holy Week, and Easter celebrations next week. There's more to come on News 3 Now at noon, including the latest data from the Labor Department on jobless claims, plus used car prices are going back up. Find out why in the Money Watch report.
Spring savings start now at Furniture and Appliance Mart. Dishwashers start at $12 per month. Refrigerators start at $13 per month. Washer and dryer pairs start at $18 per month. Plus special financing options for any budget at Furniture and Appliance Mart inside Ashley.
Remember this, and the false elector scheme. In Wisconsin, extremist Dan Kelly was the right-wing lawyer behind the scenes of it all. The bipartisan January 6th commission revealed Kelly advised Trump operatives as special counsel to overturn the will of the people and overthrow the election results. Kelly even went on tour promoting the big lie. On April 4th, vote like democracy depends on it, because it does.
With devastating injury and loss, drunk driving accident victims need an attorney to fight for a way to rebuild their lives. GTW lawyers have won some of the biggest civil awards in Wisconsin on behalf of their clients. All in to win. Gingras, Thompson, and Walks.
Update your home with Menard's huge selection of flooring. Looptex Mills provides soft and luxurious carpet that's backed by a lifetime stain and fade warranty. Intuitive plush carpet is now 79 cents per square foot after rebate. Enhancing the beauty of your home is easy with Mohawk flooring. Laminate flooring is durable and easy to install, making it the perfect choice for active lifestyles. Splash Armor laminate flooring is $169 per square foot after 11% rebate.
Save big money at Menards.
Creating family memories is what Maple Leaf Landscaping is all about. We design and build outdoor spaces that bring people together. Landscaped spaces for any size family. Functional, beautiful, a place everyone will enjoy. And it all starts with a free visit at your home by one of our landscape experts. So call Maple Leaf Landscaping today and have us create an outdoor living space for your home.
Soon you'll head to the polls to decide the balance of the Supreme Court. The choice is clear: an extremist or a common-sense judge, Judge Janet Protasewicz. She'll protect our rights and our freedoms. She'll be fair, impartial, and independent. Judge Janet Protasewicz believes in women's freedom to make their own decisions when it comes to abortion.
I'm Judge Janet Protasewicz, and I'm asking for your vote by April 4th.
Spring savings start now at Ashley. Sofas start at $8 per month. Queen bedroom sets start at $13 per month. Sectionals start at $17 per month. Plus, choose from 6 months interest-free financing or low monthly payment options. And free local delivery. Ashley.
New data from the Labor Department shows U.S. jobless claims grew to 198,000 last week. According to federal numbers, that's an increase of 7,000 from the period prior. That's still considered an historic low, despite thousands of recent layoffs in the tech industry. Another freight train derailment led to an evacuation of people in a small Minnesota town about 100 miles west of Minneapolis. The BNSF train was hauling ethanol and corn syrup when it crashed and caught fire. Officials say there is no threat to public safety, and residents were allowed to return to their homes. No injuries were reported, and the NTSB is now investigating. And the price of a used car is edging back up. Analysts say the supply of used vehicles is outpacing demand, and fewer used vehicles are coming off leases. The average list price for used cars has edged up by about $700 in just the past month. That's according to Black Book, a company that tracks prices. Black Book also expects prices to keep rising at least into the summer. That's your CBS News Money Watch report. For more, log on to cbsmoneywatch.com. At the CBS Broadcast Center, I'm Chanel Call.
Wall Street at the noon hour, the Dow Industrial's up 254 points, the NASDAQ up 146, the S&P 500 up 38. Our call for action volunteers are in the building taking your consumer complaints and taking action on your behalf. Volunteers are here every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. You can call for action right now at 608-270-2833 or submit a claim anytime at channel3000.com/call-for-action. Next at noon, Pam has today's egg prices. Greg tells us what to expect for today's alert day. And then today on Live Before, we travel to Austin, Texas. Ahead of this weekend's Country Music Awards, we'll check out all the hot spots. That's at 4.
Have you heard? We've outgrown our space. Again! Save up to half off floor samples and special orders at Dwellings Construction Sale. Dwellings, interior design and home furnishings. Still Madison's best kept $150 secret.
There were severe health complications with my baby when I was pregnant. We made the decision to have an abortion so our daughter wouldn't suffer. Dan Kelly doesn't believe that women should even have that freedom. On the Supreme Court, Dan Kelly will uphold the criminal ban on abortion. Someone you love might struggle with a pregnancy like I did. And that's why we can't have an extremist like Dan Kelly on the Supreme Court.
It's Stop the Madness Month. If your energy bills are too high, stop the madness. If your comfort is out of balance and you go straight from heat to AC, stop the madness. If you've had it with outside noise, stop the madness. Get insulated now and save up to $2,000 with the energy tax credit plus our madness discount. But the clock runs out at the end of the month, so call today.
USA Insulation.
All right, team, we got a big project coming up. And it all starts with ordering promotional products.
I'm on it. 4imprint makes it easy to get the logoed products you're looking for. The latest in apparel, drinkware, bags, high-tech items, and more. You can be certain of getting it right at 4imprint.com.
Come on out. I'm on it.
4
imprint for certain.
A teenager with the mental capacity of a 6-year-old, tricked by a predator on Facebook using a fake name, who then sexually assaulted her. It was pure evil. If Judge Janet Protasewicz was to ever take a stand for a victim, this was the time, and this was the victim. But she failed, again, placing the man on probation with a measly 60 days in the local jail. Tell Janet Protasewicz, stop letting predators off easy.
Have you heard? We've outgrown our space. Again! Save up to half off floor samples and special orders at Dwellings Construction Sale. Dwellings, interior design and home furnishings. Still Madison's best kept $150 secret.
Emily in Paris star Ashley Park takes fashion risks. How high is your heels?
I've gotten really good at falling in heels.
Plus, the Fresh Prince himself, Jabari Banks, is here.
On the next Jennifer Hudson Show at 3. It's a big goal.
If this becomes a sport in the WIA, that would be amazing.
And an invitation from the Green Bay Packers could help these young women put it in the end zone. Andrew Banstra catches up with Girls on the Gridiron, Saturday on News 3 Now at 10. The Farm Report is sponsored by Blaine's Farm and Fleet.
Let's check in with Pam Yankee from the Midwest Farm Report. It's Friday.
Yes, sir, it is. And as we wrap off the month of March, we're already starting to get a good gauge on what farmers are expected to plant in 2022. The big report came out at 11 o'clock this morning from the U.S. Department of Agriculture, their prospective plantings report. Now, the market so far is really rallying up our soybeans on the cash side and the new crop side. Why? Because it looks like we've got fewer bushel of soybeans on reserve, and it also looks like the number of acres that farmers are going to plant for soybeans this year, not as robust as the trade had expected. So right now, the soybeans are capitalizing on this latest information. Meanwhile, corn on the other side, not quite as dynamic as what we expected. It looks like planted acreage intentions for corn are up or unchanged in 40 of the 48 estimating states. The biggest increase in corn planted acres is expected in North Dakota if the weather goes their way. The farmers say they intend to plant 800,000 acres more of corn this year compared to last. If they do that, the corn in Arizona and Idaho would also be the largest on record. So those are states to kind of keep an eye on. But like I said, think about it. North Dakota, they've got to have some good weather. Last time I checked on North Dakota, they still have snow up in that neck of the woods. So a lot of it's going to be dependent on the weather. Soybeans, meanwhile, it looks like there's acreage increases of 100,000 acres or more. Minnesota, North Dakota, South Dakota, and Wisconsin. Record high acreage expected in Illinois, Nebraska, New York, Ohio, and Wisconsin. Now we'll wait and see if we can get it out of the bag and in the field. Tough day for dairy in Chicago. Barrel cheese tumbles 6 3/4 cents to 1.80 3/4. 40-pound block cheese down 7.5 at 1.85. The AA butter stands still 2.39 3/4 per pound. I had dairy analysts telling me to be prepared for this all week long. We'd gotten pretty lofty when it comes to the cheese price, but we've also seen big world demand for our U.S. cheese, and the cheese supplies in cold storage have also thinned a little bit. Can't deny, Mark, that we're also going to be keeping an eye on disrupted milk production in California. While we may suffer a little bit with the crazy weather we're going to see over the weekend, California is still just trying to figure out how to manage through the flooding. And it's not just about moving cows. It's also about getting semi-tankers out to those dairies so they can transport milk. So like I said, that story is not yet played out.
All right. Well, back down to earth with the milk prices, I guess.
Yep, that's right.
All right. Have a good weekend, Pam.
You too.
Greg is now back with the latest in our alert day. Greg?
Yeah, just to have some safety reminders as we get into the severe thunderstorms and even tornadoes possible today. Is just remember, severe thunderstorms, just stay away from windows. Remember, the lightning threat is still one of the main threats, too, with thunderstorms that people sometimes forget about. And lightning hazards and, yes, tornadoes can form even from a severe thunderstorm warning with no notice. Now, obviously, for the tornado threat, really, this is for if you're not at home. Obviously, don't try to outrun a tornado. That's really quite dangerous. The last resort is to get into a ditch, but that would be the last resort. You really want to look for public buildings, inside rooms, freezers, coolers like that. Really can sustain quite a big strike of a tornado. So something to keep in mind of. Once again, just have a plan of what to do this afternoon if threatening weather should arrive and hit your location. Right, what we're looking at is severe storms likely this afternoon. The highest threat is probably going to be from about 4, maybe 3 to 8 p.m., kind of in that way. It's going to transition more from southwest Wisconsin, where it's more of a tornado hail threat, to I think when it gets more south central Wisconsin, especially Madison, more of a damaging wind threat as a squall line, and that'll probably be coming through around 6 to 8. Now, when you wake up tomorrow morning, it's going to be totally different. It's going to feel like winter again because we have rain or snow showers late tonight. Well, a period of snow coming through early tomorrow morning. Could be some minor snow accumulations, especially further north, but much colder, and you'll definitely feel the northerly winds. It'll be 20 to 30, really blowing quite hard. So definitely a change you'll feel getting up tomorrow morning. If we time out the thunderstorms coming through here, we got the first batch coming up at about 3, and then at 4 to 5 it comes through the Madison area. This doesn't look particularly strong right now, but it could have some issues with that. Really what we're focusing on is a little bit later is eventually a squall line feature coming through basically from southwest Wisconsin and then lifting north to the Madison area about 7 to 8. By 8 or 9, most of it's to the northeast, and we're quite done with a lot of the severe weather. The winds will turn around from the southwest or westerly. You can see the low begin to push through. Overnight, you'll see the back edge, and there comes the mixed precipitation and even snow as you get closer to 7 a.m. Not a lot of accumulation with this, but notice the strong northerly winds. It'll be feel much colder as you wake up. The good news is that doesn't last too long. By the afternoon, we should have partly sunny skies. Still a chilly day, but at least the winds will start to subside. So like I said, we're looking at those potentials for those hazards going on. So as you look at the 10-day forecast right now, once we get past Saturday, Sunday is going to be the nice day of the weekend with 56 degrees and fairly comfortable. Then we have more showers or thunderstorms with maybe a similar type of a system coming Tuesday into Wednesday. We could have severe weather with that one. We'll have to keep an eye on. And then it's fairly quiet through the end of the week and going into the Easter weekend. But something to keep in mind of too, once again, if you don't have the weather app, please download it. You'll get all the alerts out there for the severe thunderstorm warnings, tornado warnings, anything out there, along with other weather information. So please have that on your phone and be situation aware if you're outside this afternoon.
So southwest Wisconsin first.
Yeah, that's where I think the tornado threat could be the highest, just because the cells are kind of singular, discrete cells. But then they'll kind of form a squall line as they lift northeast. I think it turns into a damaging wind threat. So that's what we're looking at right now.
And 3 o'clock?
I think around 2 to 3, you're going to see a first batch. That main squall line may be a little bit later, probably maybe like 5 to 8 p.m. It's going to start coming through. Obviously, when it starts moving, that squall line can move much faster than anticipated, so it could arrive a little bit sooner than that.
And a tornado watch has been issued.
There's one out for Richland, Crawford, and Grant counties right now until 8 p.m.
And probably more to come.
More to come, yep.
All right, we'll keep an eye on things. Thank you, Greg. And there's more to come on News 3 Now at noon. Up next, we'll see what Mr. Food is working on in the Mr. Food Test Kitchen.
Love seafood, but not sure what to look for at the market or how to cook it? We've got some tips to make you feel like a pro.
News 3 Now First Warn Weather is brought to you by Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor.
Discover a shopping and design experience as comfortable as the furniture. Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor. Schedule your free design consultation today.
There were severe health complications with my baby when I was pregnant. We made the decision to have an abortion so our daughter wouldn't suffer. Dan Kelly doesn't believe that women should even have that freedom. On the Supreme Court, Dan Kelly will uphold the criminal ban on abortion. Someone you love might struggle with a pregnancy like I did. And that's why we can't have an extremist like Dan Kelly on the Supreme Court.
Right now, Planet Fitness, you can get that big fitness energy for just $1 down, $10 a month. No commitment, cancel anytime. It's a great deal, and our 17 million members agree.
You can say that again.
Okay, as I said, you can join for just $1 down, $10 a month.
What a deal!
So turn your low energy into big fitness energy and enjoy tons of equipment in a clean and spacious judgment-free zone to get that post-workout glow. So get going, or shall I say glowing? Join for just $1 down, $10 a month, no commitment. Cancel anytime. Deal ends Wednesday, April 5th.
There are so many things we take for granted. So many things. And along with them, sometimes we take the people who depend on them for their survival for granted too. The elderly, disabled, the veterans, people on limited and fixed incomes, or folks that lost jobs in sectors hardest hit during the pandemic. How can they survive with record increases in their basic cost of living? Some people just can't come back. And through no fault of their own, they're being left behind, struggling to keep their heat, water, and power on. If you or someone you know needs a hand up, our heat, water, and power providers are working together to keep you safely in your home. You may not ask for it, but we're here to help.
A man brutally attacked and sexually assaulted a woman. The victim spent endless nights unable to sleep, plagued by nightmares. Judge Janet Protasewicz called the offender many females' worst nightmare, but she cut his sentence to only 2.5 years in prison. Judge Janet's dangerous judgment puts our families at risk. That's why sheriffs throughout Wisconsin support Dan Kelly. He's the only candidate we can trust to keep violent felons off our streets. On April 4th, vote Justice Dan Kelly. Fair Courts America is responsible for the content of this advertising.
Every week, we seem to get more cooking questions from viewers, and we love it. So keep them coming. And here to bring us today's question is Lexi, our online editor. Welcome, Lex.
Today's question comes from Anna Campbell, who writes, I love fish, but I'm not sure how to tell it's fresh when I buy it. And once I cook it, how do I know it's done properly?
Thanks, Lexi. And Anna, great question. I'm sure lots of other viewers are wondering the same thing. First of all, if your fish is fresh, it should smell like the ocean. If it smells really fishy, that should be a red flag. And as for looks, the flesh should be bright, almost translucent in color, and firm, not mushy. If you're buying the whole fish, the gills should be red, not gray, and the eyes should be bright and not sunken. And once you get the fish home, cook it within a day or so, or freeze it. Don't just let it sit in the fridge. As for how long to cook it, the rule of thumb is 10 minutes for every inch of thickness when we're baking it. But the best way to tell if your fish is cooked, see if it flakes easily with a fork. And to get you started, why not try a standby favorite? It's simply white fish fillets baked in a garlic herb butter and finished with a splash of lemon juice that makes this to die for. Want the recipe for what we call fresh catch fish scampi, as well as more tips on how to buy and cook fish? Then go online now. Thanks again, Lexi. And to all of you at home, keep those questions coming, so we can continue to find you easier ways to say, ooh, it's so good.
The Henry Viola Zoo is adding brand new membership program benefits. Members at any level are now eligible for early access to the zoo on Saturdays starting tomorrow. Members will have access 30 minutes before the general public to see how staff get animal areas ready for the day. Half of all the money raised through memberships goes directly to wildlife conservation. Last year, the zoo raised $36,000. Zoo members will also get discounts on food, the gift shop, and many other benefits. So support the zoo. And if you're going tomorrow, bundle up, Greg, right?
Yeah, it's going to be feeling quite winter-like tomorrow's, but we still got to get through this afternoon. That's why we still have the alert day for this evening for the thunderstorms that are going to be coming through. Once again, strong to severe thunderstorms tonight. Much colder tomorrow. We'll have rain and snow showers after midnight, and the wind, like you already mentioned, is going to be quite strong, at least in the morning tomorrow. So it'll be definitely a difference. There's your tornado watch until 8 p.m., something to keep in mind of. And then if we look at radar right now, looking good. But there's your trend going with the first batch coming up, probably 4 to 5 p.m.
All right, keep an eye on things this afternoon. Stay here on Channel 3. We'll see you at 4 o'clock. Have a great afternoon.